Okay, call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions in the open meeting law, GL Chapter 30A, Section 18, and Governor Healy's March 29th, 2023 revised order extending remote participation by all members in any meeting of a public body. This meeting of the Select Board will be conducted both in person and via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guideline for remote participation by members of the public and our parties with a right and a requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website. Committee members and members of the public may attend this meeting in person or remotely. Instructions for remote access can be found on the top of the agenda. Every effort will be made to ensure that those attending remotely can access the proceedings in real time via technological means. Pursuant to MGL 7C 30A Section 20F, after notifying the chair of the public body, any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of a meeting of a public body or may transmit the meeting through any medium. The beginning of the meeting, the chair shall inform other attendees of any such recordings. So this meeting is being recorded by the Berkshire Eagle, Berkshire Edge, CTSB, and the town of Great Barrington. Any members of the public wishing to speak at the meeting must receive permission of the chair. The listing of agenda items are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. So I will start with a statement from the Select Board about Housatonic Water Works. While it wouldn't be appropriate for me to share the details of our strategy publicly, the Select Board met in executive session on Tuesday, August 6th with legal counsel to review the July 31st order of the Department of Public Utilities, DPU, approving the settlement agreement between Housatonic Water Works and the Attorney General's office. By its terms and by statute, the order may be appealed to the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court by an aggrieved party in interest within 20 days. The appellate path is a narrow one, but the town of Great Barrington, through its Select Board, is poised to file an appeal within the time frame allowed by law. Our town manager has been in contact with his colleagues in our partner towns of Stockbridge and West Stockbridge, and we hope they will join us in doing the same. Once the appeal is filed, it will be shared publicly. Okay. Ben.
Just to echo Steve's statement that our path to appeal may be narrow, but we will be doing everything we can and everything in addition to the appeal that we can to try to correct what we think is a very, can't even think of the word, unjust, unwise, bad ruling by the state. Thanks.
Nothing. Thank you, Eric.
Just wanted to say, was that Berkshire bus this last week? It was pretty exciting on the one day they had it. And also just wanted to say thank you to the Board of Health for taking steps that they're starting to take, and really appreciate it as a Select Board member and as a Housatonic resident that they have started to take action. So thank you.
Please.
Wanted to do a shout out to the DPW and the members of the Lake Mansfield Improvement Task Force, Christine Ward's here and Dale and everyone, Chris Rumble. Everyone really kind of pulled together to address some issues, starting out with our renovated and rehabilitated lake, and the geese issue is being addressed, and we're super happy. So I invite everyone down to Lake Mansfield. It's a wonderful gem in the community, and it's open for everyone. So thank you, Brendan.
Thanks, Steve. Approval of minutes. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of July 22nd, 2024.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Town managers report.
Nothing new to report for this time fireworks this evening. I think we covered it. So moving on, an update on temporary and event signs. I recently met with Matt Homer, our building commissioner, to discuss temporary signs throughout town. The signs that are advertising events and studio sales and gutter cleaning services, those types of signs. Going forward, any unpermitted signs will be removed and disposed of. As you know, often these signs are advertising events and sales that aren't even happening in Great Barrington or in other communities or just very generic signs. So, because they clutter up downtown Great Barrington, it's gonna, start to not only, do this himself, but also ask his staff to just scoop those signs. We're working on a permitting process now where we can provide a sticker to folks that have, permission to place those signs so that staff knows that they are legitimate signs and they should stay in place. So the reason I'm mentioning this tonight is that it's a friendly warning, since those signs I know are very expensive. When I worked for the health board several years ago, I would have those signs made for flu clinics and things like that. I think they were $30 a piece at that time, so I know they're expensive. So tonight I just wanted to mention publicly that if you're placing signs around town for temporary events, get them permitted or they will be scooped up by staff and disposed of. I also wanted to address political signs since this is the season. I want to be clear that we will not be touching political signs. The only time we ever touch political signs is when they're on town property and they're impeding mowing or weed trimming or snow removal. So the focus of this shift is really to just get a handle on the temporary events. That's it. And again, we're not interfering with elections. That's all I have.
Thanks, Bob. Licenses and permits. I think the first one said they may be late, so and I don't see them here, so we'll move ahead and then we'll go back real soon. So application for a common victualler license, Rustic Eats Food Truck, 123 Main Street.
I'm here.
Okay,
The
great.
first one.
Yeah, come right up to the,
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
oh, Pixie, okay, you are here. I was looking for you on the Zoom. I thought that's how you were coming here. Terrific. We'll take you first then. Stand right by the microphone, introduce yourself. So application for common victualler license, Pixie Boulangerie, 198 Main Street, Great Barrington. I knew you might be late, so I was just giving you time. Just introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Patrizia Barbagliano, owner of Pixie Boulangerie.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the application for a common victual license to Pixie Boulangerie,
Boulangerie.
well, yeah.
Well, that's
On
what she
198
said.
Main Street, right there.
Second,
Do we have any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
It's unanimous. Thank you for showing up. It's that simple.
Thank you.
Okay. Application for common victualler license, Rustic Eats Food Truck, 123 Main Street, Great Barrington. There you go. You want to just tell us a little bit about your truck and where it's going to be?
Oh, okay. My name is Shishan Lin.
Please, yes.
Right?
No, that's good. Just introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Shishan Lin and that's my wife Christina. We own the Rustic Eats food trailer. We serve pizza and pizza bread sandwich. And in Great Barrington, we are going to park at the farm stores, buy cannabis, their garage.
Okay,
It used to be that coffee truck. And we are gonna be there every Tuesday and Saturdays, from 12 to 5:30.
perfect. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the application for a common victual license to Rustic Eats Food Truck on 123 Main Street.
I'll second.
Do we have questions?
I just have a question. In the hours of operation on here, it says 11 to 5:30, you said 12?
The 11 is we are gonna park there and start setting it up.
So you'll be there at 11,
Okay.
not 12, okay.
Yeah. Then we are gonna start selling by 12.
Right.
So we're gonna take about an hour to warm up the oven.
Oh, that's okay, but I just wanted to make sure that we have the right time.
Are you gonna be setting up any tables, picnic tables or anything, or?
No, we don't set up the tables, all that stuff, but the front doors can find cannabis, they already have tables there. We didn't know that before, before we asked them to park there. And they told us they already have the table all that there. So I don't know, should we ask them to remove it or we are okay with that there?
I don't see why.
Yeah.
I think they're fine.
You're good.
Other questions?
Hmm.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Application for common victualler, Cafe Holly, 200 Main Street, Great Barrington. There we go. Moving further now. Hello.
Holly Stan, owner of Cafe Holly. We're just gonna be serving coffee and crepes and smoothies and, basic sandwiches, there's no events, so you're going to electric.
Sounds good. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the application for common victualler to Cafe Holly on 200 Main Street.
Second?
Discussion? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Good luck to you. Application for a one-day entertainment license, Great Barrington Land Conservancy, Bluegrass at the Lake fundraiser at Lake Mansfield, Saturday, August 31st, 2024, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Introduce yourselves, ladies, please.
Everyone, I'm Kate Roslin. I'm on the board of directors with the Great Barrington Land Conservancy. We did this event last year. We felt it was a great success and it would have brought the community together. It was a really fun day just to have bluegrass and free ice cream and just celebrate the work of GBLC. So we're proposing the same event again this year. We did have it approved by Parks and Rec a few weeks ago, and essentially it would just be the same details. Music is acoustic in nature. We would just do light amplification to have it carry to the audience. We are working with Simon's Rock to provide overflow parking once again, and also the Tri-County connector for a shuttle. And otherwise, we're just hoping to play off to the side so that, you know, anyone who is there doesn't have to listen to the music. They can just have their beach picnic if they'd like. They can come over and also participate in the event if they would like as well. So, thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the one-day entertainment license to the GB Land Conservancy Bluegrass Lake fundraiser at Lake Mansfield on Saturday, August 31st from 3 to 6 p.m.
Second?
Any questions?
Yeah, when's the free ice cream?
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Good luck.
Thank you.
And I suspect Christine stays up for this one. Application for a one-day entertainment license, Great Barrington Land Conservancy, Run for the Hills. 5K, 10K fundraiser, Sunday, October 13th, 2024.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Lynn Delaney. I'm a board member and also was a coordinators for the Run for the Hills. This will be our 14th year doing this one. Wow. And it starts at Kilpatrick Athletic Center at Simon's Rock, goes out and try to stay as much possible off the road. And there's a 10K route and a 5K route, comes back to Simon's Rock where we have our celebration. We're asking the permission to use the Great Barrington roads on Sunday, October 13th. So we can do this. It's a major fundraiser for the Land Conservancy, but it's also become a really annual exciting event, both for the runners, the walkers, and the people who volunteer during the day. And I just want to mention too, safety is a concern of ours. And we're very careful with a huge group of volunteers who are stationed along the route. Your public works people very nicely let us use their cones, so we have those out, showing very. We also hire a police officer for the day or for the morning, so that we have somebody there with authority.
Great. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the application for a one-day entertainment license to the GB Land Conservancy Run for the Hills fundraiser on Sunday, October 13th, 2024.
A second?
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, I know I've been doing this forever. How does the public know about where it's gonna be run? Is there something that you do ahead of time, shop a guide, or is there something?
Yeah, we do, we have, it's obviously on our website. We deal with the running center in Pittsfield. They take care of all of our registration. We also help with media. And then, of course, we use social media. Facebook, Instagram to get the word out. And we do use road signs, but we always get it from there. Right?
Someone was listening.
And do you have water out along the route for
Yes.
owners?
This is the way, this is the route right here.
And this is all on town property, so there's no private property there.
We have permission from the two private property owners for the, first for the 5K start and then for the finish line. And we've secured those permissions already. And then, of course, we have permission secured, from Simon's Rock, our major post. And we have water stations both on the 5K loop and on the 10K loop. And also at the finish and at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Public hearing. Are they- yes. Okay. I just didn't want to read this whole thing. but- This is a petition of New Singular Wireless PCS LLC doing business as AT&T for a grant of location pole attachment for a small cell wireless facility, including telecommunication wires and wireless attachments on an existing utility pole on the public right of way located near 659 Main Street, National Grid pole number 36-1, Verizon pole number 170. You have a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
It's a roll call, Ben,
Aye.
Garfield,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
and I. And once they're teed up, we'll have an explanation of project.
I did open the mics for Edward and Wilson.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Good evening. My name is Ed Perry. I'm an attorney at Brown Rudnick representing New Singular Wireless PCS LLC. We are the applicant seeking the grant of location from the select board. As the chair mentioned, we're using an existing pole, which is co-owned by Verizon and National Grid. While the pole doesn't have an actual street address, it's near 659 Main Street. For a point of reference, it's across from the Mobil gas station, the Extra Mart on Main Street. So the facility itself, if you do have the plans, consists of a small antenna, 2 feet in height, 16 inches in diameter, that gets attached to the top of the utility pole. There are radio units for the switching equipment, which will go into an equipment cabinet. The cabinet is 48 inches long, 24 inches wide, and 20 inches deep. It'll actually run parallel to Main Street, so it doesn't interfere with any traffic. It won't be damaged. It's at about 11.5 feet up on the existing pole. There's a shut-off switch and an electric meter, which is installed, so National Grid can recover or bill us for their electrical costs to power the unit. There's no ground equipment. There are grounding rods inserted in the ground near the pole. We did provide some coverage maps so you could see what the AT&T service would look like as it exists and post installation. Actually, for a small cell facility, provides a pretty good footprint of coverage. If you're looking at the maps, green is what AT&T is trying to achieve. You'll see we have pretty good green to the east of the site, but to the west, north, and south, service is lacking for AT&T. We did provide some photographs of the existing pole, along with photo simulations with the antenna in the equipment cabinet installed. And that is basically the gist. We'll comply with the building code. If we need electrical permits and our building permits, we will obtain those from the town's building department. And we also comply with the emissions standards set by the FCC. As you'll see in the report we provided, it's 0.69% of the maximum. So that's 0.69, not 69%. So these are low power canister antennas. But from our perspective, it's a good bang for the buck here, coverage wise in Great Barrington. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions from members of the select board. Thank you.
First, I'm going to take public comments. Anyone to speak in favor or opposition? Seeing no one, Select board questions. Yes, Lynn.
Thank you for that information. Just a question about, AT&T versus Verizon. If Verizon wanted to come across, come along and, hit the same coverage that you are doing, do you double up on that pole, or would they have a competing pole, or how does that work with other providers?
Yeah, National Grid will only allow one small cell facility per pole. So typically, if the pole is busy with equipment, transformers, wires, the pole's not available. If you take a look at the picture, you'll see this is there's not much activity on this pole. You've got 3 wires, communications. So if Verizon or another competitor wanted to use a pole, they'd have to find something else in the public right of way.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I guess, just curious how, like, of all the areas this one got spotted for this particular unit. Just out of curiosity mostly, but because I also hear, like, with our downtown area, people sometimes struggle to make cell calls and stuff like that. So curious, why you chose the area you did to install one of the first ones of these.
Yeah, the AT&T's radio frequency engineers analyzed the system. Obviously, more highly trafficked locations are favorable for additional sites. This is the only one planned right now for Great Barrington, but I've been doing these for a number of years. I've probably done a few hundred of them. So budgets change. There may be more. I think because of the traffic associated with the major roadway there is key. So it's a function of, improving the network, customer complaints, dropped calls and that sort of thing. There are challenges to getting towers out there. There may be more down the road, and, a downtown area would be, ideal, as long as there are, poles available in the public right of way. I've done a ton of them, through downtowns, for areas with a spotty coverage. So you may see us again, but for now, AT&T is looking to cover this area.
Anyone else? Saying no one to a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second, yes.
Roll call vote. Ben.
Aye.
Garfield.
Aye.
Aaron.
Aye.
Lee.
Hi.
And I. Discussion. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to grant the location of a pole attachment for a small cell wireless facility, including telecommunication wires and wireless attachments on existing utility pole in the public right of way located at 659 Main Street, Barrington. The National Grid pole number 36-1 / Verizon pole number 170.
Second.
Roll call vote. Ben.
Aye.
Garfield.
Aye.
Eric.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
And I. It's unanimous. It passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the attention. Thank you.
New business. Request from rural recovery to hang banners from utility poles on Main Street from Castle Street to Cottage Street during the month of September in recognition of Recovery Month. Gary, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Gary Pratt, Executive Director of Rural Recovery, 67 State Road here in Great Barrington. Oh, yeah. Like you said, Steve, we're looking for approval to put, I believe it's 15 banners on the National Grid owned utility poles on Main Street for recovery.
Do I have a motion?
I move to approve rural recovery's request to hang banners from utility poles on Main Street from Castle Street to Cottage Street, subject to receipt of permission from National Grid for use of all poles.
Second that?
Discussion. Saying none?
Just curious if you want to speak a little bit on what's actually the content.
Yeah, sure. So September is National Recovery Month for substance use disorder. So that is our primary business at the South County Recovery Center and Rural Recovery. So just to raise awareness of the issue and to, really showcase it on Main Street here in Great Barrington and to put that spotlight here to really show how progressive the town is and how progressive South Berkshire County as a whole to, really recognize this. It's a part of our month-long push to really bring this to the forefront As you probably all know, we had a stigma event on September 21st, right here in Great Barrington, in the town hall right here, which I hope to see all of you there. But that's the general context. It's just bringing the awareness and to, recognize National Recovery Month, which, was started, I think about 15 years ago by SAMHSA, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. So, yeah, great. Thanks.
Thanks.
And I appreciate that you have it also in Spanish on the polls,
Yes.
so that's really
Yeah.
important, so thank you.
Absolutely.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Good luck to you again.
Thank you all.
Review a letter of support for the Community Compact Act Best Practices Grant, focusing on the regionalization of emergency medical services. Mark.
Okay, so in your packet is a draft letter, and just to provide a little background on this, Representative Pignatelli convened a working group of stakeholders from his district several months ago. And we've been meeting monthly since that time. And the goal here is to have an open dialogue about EMS coverage in South County and start to work together to improve EMS coverage and response times for all of us. So hopefully this letter of support will help secure grant funding to cover the cost of the study through the UMass Collins Center. And as stated in the letter, there's no financial match required by the towns, and GB will be the lead community, so we'll manage the grant, assuming we receive it.
Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the letter for support for the Community Compact Best Practices Grant, focusing on the regionalization of EMS.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
You.
Okay, so we have next the review of the application for the Ramsdale Building Committee. You want me to take this or you want it? Okay, so there are two parts to this. There are 7 members with each category. So there's a library director who has applied, 1 representative from the DPW, which will be Joe Aberdale, 2 Board of Library Trustees members. We've only had 2 put their name in, Ruby Chang and Pat Hollenbeck. And then 1 architect or design professional was Rebecca Tamil K. She's a retired architect. So I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve those. Then we have 4 people applying for 2 members at large, and we'll have to decide on that one. But let's get the first slate out of the way. So
Okay. I move that we approve the following. Library Director, Don Jardin, Joe Aberdale, Ruby Chang, Pat Hollenbeck, and Rebecca Tamol K.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Next, we have 2 members we need to appoint 2 members at large. Sharon Gregory, Rachel Lotion, Don Nelson, and Margaret Magdalensky Tringali have put their names in. If they're here tonight, you want to hear 1 minute from each of them? That can make sense.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and remember, while we're teeing this up, this is not the fundraising part of this. Fundraising is subject to the Office of Political Campaign Finance. And this committee cannot actually do any fundraising, as Eric's learned from the building committee. So if you're interested in fundraising, this is not the committee for you to be on. As a matter of fact, it would be a detriment. So there are 4 people. Just pick the first one you see, Mark. And we'll let you speak for a minute on your interest.
John, your mic is open.
Okay, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. My name is John Nelson, 326 North Plain Road in Housatonic. I've been a resident here for about 8 years. I had the property since 2006. And my wife and I live here in Housatonic. I am a minister of a United Church of Christ congregation in Salisbury, Connecticut, but live full-time here. And we have been active in the community. A number of you know my wife Angela from her work on the Housatonic Improvement Committee. I'm looking for an opportunity to get involved in community activity myself. I am a regular, frequent patron of the two libraries, Mason and Ramsdale, but am really invested in Ramsdale being a vibrant community space. Really is a treasure, both the building and the space that it makes available in this community. So I would look forward to helping to advance the project.
Thank you very much. Anyone else of the three people are on, you can also raise your hand, it would make it quicker. No, I think John was the only one who was on. So how do you want to do? Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion since John is there, so I'll start with John. I make a motion to accept John Nelson to the at-large position on the Ramsdale committee.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'm just curious as why we're doing it, I just haven't heard the other people's,
They're not here.
no one else is doing it.
I'm going by the Garfield rule, but if they don't show up, we're going ahead.
I'm all right with that. I have a problem with that.
I knew you wouldn't.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Now we have a problem because if we go by the Garfield rule, we're done and the committee short one person.
Yeah.
Because none of the other three are here. But if you're familiar with them and we don't want to drag this process on any longer, especially members of the Housatonic Improvement Committee, I think can work with some of these people maybe.
Yeah.
If you have a recommendation, I'm more than willing to listen to get this committee vibrant and going.
Yeah.
Do we even have, I'm sorry, do we have the names even?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the letters in the packet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would, say everybody in the packet is very good and definitely has all the credentials. I would just, say maybe we would choose Rachel Lochin for just a young family in Housatonic, lives on Oak Street, and just having a young family member on there with she's got a young son. So gives that aspect to the mix of the crowd. I do, everybody that applied would be a great person to be on it, but I guess that Rachel's the one that stands out to me. Basically because of the young family aspect of it.
Do I have a second?
So second for discussion.
And discussion?
Yeah, I agree with Eric's take on that. Just, I think that's a really necessary perspective for the future of Ramsdale, just to kind of incorporate meeting needs of young families. So as someone who's pretty involved in that community himself, and I like giving preference to residents of Wisconsin for this position.
Right, and the charter does. Say we
Yes,
give
exactly.
preference to the residents of Housatonic, so which makes sense. It's where
Yep.
the library is located. Okay, so I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Unanimous. Okay, so that the Ramsdale Building Committee has now been formed. Okay, next is the appointment of 2025 election officers. I know you don't have to read them, just say they can appoint a slate.
I make a motion to appoint the slate of 2025 election officers.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Next is, we have a proposed select board meeting schedule for 2025. I don't know that we'll vote on it just to be formal, but I'm more interested. Did anyone see anything that stands out on it? I did not.
Not currently. I
Well,
don't keep my calendar quite that far, but it looks good to me. Yeah.
there
I have to learn from you because I did.
Only thing for me that I'd like to, I know this is our schedule, town meeting is listed on here. I'd like to talk about possibly adjusting town meeting at some point, but I know that schedule will come later.
Yeah, that'll come through. Let's just make a motion to accept the select board meeting schedule.
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
all right.
It's unanimous. It was painless. Citizen speak time. Select board plan, Ben.
I just want to do a quick thank you to all of the election officers on this list. It is a very long list, but they all deserve our thanks. It is a very important, often thankless job, but we wouldn't be able to have our elections without them. So,
Perfect.
Actually, I'm just. See, what I just read down. I know, no, I go down.
Okay, Eric,
I'm all set, thank
Great.
you.
I am all set. Media time. Heather. Go right ahead, Heather Bella.
Can you hear me right now?
Heather Bella. Yes.
Oh, hi. Yeah, how much, just a question about the sign permits, how much do those cost?
I don't know the answer to that question.
You have an easier question. We'll get back to you tomorrow.
Sorry.
The minimum-
That's a minor point. Okay,
The minimum permit fee, I believe, is $35, Heather, but I don't quote me on that. We'll have to check in the building department.
okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. By unanimous consent, we are adjourned and we seem to have accomplished a lot in a very short period of time. Thank you, everyone. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.